In a way, history has been dominated by the following question: should a country be governed by one idiot with lots of power, or by lots of idiots with very little power? Both are tempting. The appeal of having one idiot in charge is that, if you get tired of him, all you have to do is strap a bomb to a Walmart drone and crash it into his limousine. The appeal of having lots of idiots in charge, meanwhile, is that if they get tired of you, they'll have to sit around and come to a consensus before they're allowed to vaporize you with a drone. In politics, someone's always going to get vaporized with a drone, but who gets vaporized is highly dependent on the nature of the government or governments involved. Democracy hinges on the fundamental liberal principle that no one should be allowed to rule over others without first purchasing millions of dollars of TV ad space. These millions of dollars must be provided willingly by humble, everyday, multinational corporations, and no one's allowed to give more than a small amount of money unless they feel like it. Democracy stipulates that all cabinet officials, generals, diplomats, and judges be chosen through a rigorous review process by their professional peers, and that the people who make the laws and launch the nukes be chosen by the mouth-breathing, glue-sniffing public. How hard can it be to run a country after all, democracy asks. Anyway, even if an unqualified US president makes a mistake and gets us all blown up, we can rest easy, knowing that he or she was popular. If the qualified candidates fail to develop effective social media strategies, that's their fault, and they shouldn't be in charge of anything. Some of the main strengths of autocracy, on the other hand, are that it allows a government to make decisions quickly, and that it ensures that only qualified people are part of the decision-making process. These strengths are on display in Russia, where all the president has to do to put his ideas into action is bribe 50 people, get the approval of the Russian mafia, find blackmail on anyone trying to stop him, call various ministries and companies on the phone constantly to make sure that they're actually doing what he told them to do, and then send the FSB into those ministries and companies to make sure that they're actually doing what he told them to do. And instead of having to consult a group of people elected by the uninformed public, the Russian president gets to consult a crack squad of people who are either friends with people he's related to or related to people he's friends with. There is a happy medium between democracy and autocracy currently being practiced in Singapore. Singapore is a so-called hybrid democracy, meaning that it's a dictatorship, but it lets the US use its military bases. Letting the US use your military bases is a key component of democracy, as Aristotle said. The freedom of speech is superfluous when you have the ambiance of freedom provided by hundreds of drunken and disorderly American soldiers. Additionally, the majority of Singaporeans have a pretty good grasp on English, which is a certified democratic language. They also let our soldiers use their brothels during the Vietnam War, which was pretty cool of them. The alternative to the democratic autocratic spectrum is the system used by Sudan. Sudan has a governing system modeled after the video game Fortnite, in which no one is in charge and the life expectancy is about 20 minutes. Sudan has reached what is known as full libertarianism, in which any tax collector attempting to collect taxes has a 100% chance of getting violently murdered and fed to a lion. The state of New Hampshire is already moving to replicate this system. This is a valuable political experiment. It is difficult, of course, to measure the overall value of any governing system, but there are several rough metrics that can be useful, such as, does a loaf of bread cost more or less than a machine gun? Is the line for loaves of bread longer or shorter than the line for machine guns? And is the government spending more money on taking people's machine guns or taking their bread? These questions can lead us closer to understanding how to vaporize people with drones more effectively.